Michael ate nuts every day for prostate health, following recommendations from health websites, variety of different types, handful each afternoon. His PSA had been stable for years, 7.4, 7.6, 7.5, then suddenly 9.8, up 2.2 in 6 months. His urologist was concerned. That's a significant jump. What changed? Michael reviewed everything. No major changes. Same exercise, same medications, same routine. Only difference, he'd started eating more nuts for prostate health. I increased my healthy nut consumption. That should help, not hurt. His urologist asked specifically, "What nuts are you eating?" Michael listed 5 different types he rotated through. His urologist's expression changed. "That's your problem. Some of those nuts interfere with PSA testing. Not all nuts affect the prostate the same way. You're eating several types that temporarily spike PSA readings." Michael was stunned. "They're all supposed to be healthy for my prostate." His urologist explained. "They might be healthy long-term, but certain nuts contain minerals that temporarily increase prostate activity. Right before testing, that creates false elevation. You need to know which nuts to stop before PSA tests, and which nuts you can continue eating without any testing concerns." They identified the problematic nuts in Michael's rotation, retested 4 weeks later, avoiding those specific types. Result, 7.9, down 1.9 from the alarming reading, back to his normal range. Today I'm revealing the 5 specific nuts that interfere with PSA testing, why certain nuts affect test accuracy while others don't, and the exact timing protocol that lets you eat nuts for health while getting accurate PSA measurements. If you eat multiple types of nuts, knowing which ones to time correctly could prevent false positive results. This video is for education only, not medical advice. This is about test accuracy and timing, not treating disease. Always follow your doctor's testing instructions. Before we start, comment nuts below right now. I'll send you the complete 2-list system with safe nuts and timing-sensitive nuts. Takes 2 seconds. Now let me explain how nuts affect PSA testing differently. Not all nuts affect PSA testing the same way. Michael's urologist explained this clearly. There are 2 categories of nuts. Category A, nuts you can eat right up until your PSA test. No interference with results. Category B, nuts that temporarily affect test accuracy. Must be stopped before testing. The difference comes down to mineral concentration. Category A nuts contain moderate amounts of various nutrients. Balanced profile. Category B nuts contain very high amounts of specific minerals. Selenium, zinc, other compounds that concentrate in prostate tissue. When you consume high amounts of these minerals, they temporarily increase prostate cellular activity. More activity equals more PSA release during the testing window. Michael had been eating nuts from both categories. His Category A nuts kept his baseline healthy. His Category B nuts created false spikes during testing. He needed to separate them. Today I'm counting down the 5 Category B nuts, the ones that must be stopped 1 week before PSA testing, starting with number 5. Number 5 is actually a seed, not a nut, but it's grouped with nuts in most mixed products. Sunflower seeds. These appear in virtually every trail mix. Protein bars, granola, nut blends. Why sunflower seeds affect PSA testing? They contain high levels of multiple minerals, including zinc and selenium in moderate amounts, plus compounds that affect prostate tissue activity. Not as extreme as some nuts, but enough to matter, especially when combined with other nuts in mixed products. Michael ate trail mix containing sunflower seeds almost daily. Never thought about them affecting his PSA. The timing protocol. Stop sunflower seeds 1 week before PSA testing. This means checking ingredient labels on trail mixes and protein bars. If you see sunflower seeds listed, avoid that product the week before testing. But sunflower seeds are actually the mildest on this list. Number 4 is where things get more serious. Number 4 is a nut most men intentionally add to their diet for health benefits. Cashews. Cashews have very high zinc content, about 1.6 milligrams of zinc per ounce. That's significantly higher than most other nuts. Why zinc matters for PSA testing? Zinc concentrates heavily in prostate tissue. Your prostate contains more zinc than any other organ. When you consume high amounts of zinc, especially close to testing, it temporarily increases prostate cellular activity. That activity causes more PSA release. Cashews are found everywhere: trail mixes, stir fries, cashew butter, Asian dishes. Many men specifically eat cashews thinking they support prostate health. Long term, they might, but short term before testing, they interfere with accuracy. Michael had added cashews to his nut rotation 6 months before his PSA spiked. Ate handful of cashews 2 to 3 times weekly, including the afternoon before his test. The timing protocol: stop cashews 1 week before PSA testing. Check labels on mixed nut products. If cashews are included, avoid them during test preparation week. But if you think cashews are problematic, wait until you hear number 3. Number 3 isn't a single nut type. It's combinations of nuts in commercial products: mixed trail mixes, mixed nut protein bars, blended nut snacks. Why combinations are worse than single nuts? They stack multiple mineral sources. One handful of trail mix might contain cashews for zinc, Brazil nut pieces for selenium, almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds. Each ingredient adds its own mineral content. The effects combine and amplify. Research on mixed nut products showed something surprising. Men who ate mixed products before testing had significantly higher false positive rates than men who ate single nut products. The stacking effect is real. Michael's trail mix contained 4 different nut types, including both cashews and Brazil nut pieces. Every handful delivered multiple PSA-affecting minerals. The timing protocol: stop all mixed nut products 1 week before testing. This includes trail mixes, protein bars with multiple nuts, mixed nut containers. Stick to single-type nuts during test preparation week. Plain almonds, plain walnuts, these are fine. But mixed products need to be avoided. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Number 2 is the nut that changed how urologists prepare patients for PSA testing. Many doctors now specifically ask, have you eaten this nut recently? Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts contain the highest selenium content of any food on Earth. Just 2 to 3 Brazil nuts provide 200 micrograms of selenium. That's your entire daily requirement, and then some. Why selenium creates such dramatic PSA interference? Selenium concentrates in prostate tissue. High selenium intake temporarily increases prostate cellular activity dramatically. The effect peaks 2 to 3 hours after consumption. If you eat Brazil nuts and test within that window, your PSA can spike significantly. Studies show Brazil nuts consumed within 24 hours of testing can elevate PSA by 1 to 2 points. Michael had eaten 3 Brazil nuts the evening before his test, about 15 hours before blood draw, still within the interference window. His urologist explained, Brazil nuts are actually the most common cause of false positive PSA tests I see. Now I ask every patient before testing, have you eaten Brazil nuts this week? The timing protocol: stop Brazil nuts 1 full week before PSA testing. 7 days, not just the day before, a full week. Selenium takes time to clear from your system. Check ingredient lists. Brazil nuts hide in many trail mixes and mixed nut containers. But even Brazil nuts aren't number 1. The top spot goes to something even more common. The number 1 cause of nut-related false PSA elevations. Something sitting in kitchens right now: mixed nut butters. This surprised Michael most. He thought he was eating plain almond butter. The jar said almond butter prominently on the label. But when his urologist examined the ingredient list closely, almonds, cashew butter, Brazil nut pieces, sunflower seed butter, 4 different nut types, including 2 from our list, in concentrated butter form. Why mixed nut butters are the worst? First, they're concentrated. 2 tablespoons of nut butter contains fragments from multiple whole nuts. Second, they combine high selenium and high zinc nuts in one product. Third, they're consumed regularly, often daily, close to testing. Fourth, the labels are misleading. Almond butter makes you think it's just almonds, but 80% of gourmet or mixed nut butters contain multiple nut types. Michael ate his almond butter on toast every morning, including the morning of his PSA test. 2 tablespoons contained pieces from potentially 6 to 8 Brazil nuts and significant cashew content, all concentrated in butter form, all consumed 2 hours before his blood draw. This created his dramatic PSA spike. The timing protocol: read nut butter labels carefully. Plain almond butter, fine before testing, just almonds. Plain peanut butter, fine before testing, just peanuts. Plain walnut butter, fine before testing, just walnuts. Mixed nut butters, stop 1 week before testing. Any butter that lists multiple nuts or includes Brazil nuts or cashews. Michael switched back to plain almond butter, single ingredient, almonds. His next PSA test, 7.9, back to normal. The mixed nut butter had been his problem all along. The complete 2-list system. Michael's urologist gave him 2 lists to keep on his phone. List A, safe for PSA testing. Eat anytime. Plain almonds, plain walnuts, pecans, pistachios, plain peanuts, plain peanut butter, plain almond butter, plain walnut butter. These contain moderate, balanced mineral levels. No testing interference. List B, stop 1 week before PSA testing. Number 5, sunflower seeds. Number 4, cashews. Number 3, mixed trail mixes and nut bars. Number 2, Brazil nuts. Number 1, mixed nut butters. The protocol is simple. Daily nutrition. Eat from both lists for health benefits. 1 week before PSA test, stop all list B items completely. Continue list A without interruption. Day of test. List A still fine. List B still avoided. After blood is drawn, resume all nuts immediately. Get both benefits. Michael follows this system now, keeps both lists in his phone notes, refers to them before every PSA test. His PSA has been stable ever since. 7.7, 7.9, 8.1. Normal fluctuation. No dramatic spikes. Why this matters. False positive PSA tests lead to unnecessary procedures, additional blood tests, expensive MRIs, invasive biopsies, enormous anxiety waiting for results. Michael almost went through all of this. Because of mixed nut butter, he ate for breakfast. Simple timing change prevented it. The 5 nuts on list B aren't unhealthy. They just need to be timed correctly around PSA testing. Continue eating them for their health benefits. Just stop them 1 week before testing. This gives you accurate baseline PSA measurements while maintaining nutritional benefits the rest of the time. What to do now if you eat nuts regularly and have PSA testing scheduled? Review what you're eating. Check against the 2 lists. If you're eating list B items, stop them 1 week before your test. Continue list A items without any changes. If your recent PSA came back elevated, review what you ate that week. Were any list B items consumed? If yes, discuss with your doctor. Request retest following proper timing protocol. Many false positives can be prevented with correct nut timing. Check labels on all mixed products, trail mixes, protein bars, nut butters. If they contain Brazil nuts, cashews, or sunflower seeds, they're list B items. Time them accordingly. Comment nuts below for your downloadable 2-list guide. Shows exactly which nuts to continue and which to stop before testing. Subscribe for next week's video on the 5 foods that work synergistically with proper nut timing for most accurate PSA results. Michael learned that not all nuts affect PSA testing equally. The 5 on list B need timing consideration. The ones on list A are fine anytime. Knowing the difference prevented his false positive. The same knowledge could prevent yours.